But I think, it's important to think if you're not interested in engaging with fans at that level, you can still be listening to what they have to say. And this is a really big opportunity that social media has to offer. We really suggest igniting that conversation and then getting out of the way to listen.
What we can't take for granted is that these consumers are more informed than ever. They have very high expectations, and if you don't give them the information they need or want, they will go somewhere else to find it.
Absolutely. They've come to expect a dialogue. If you're not talking to them, they're talking about you somewhere else. And if you don't have a presence for your brand on social media, someone else will. We have a colleague that we've been discussing a social media presence with them for years, but they're afraid. They're unsure of how to bring their voice onto these platforms. I'm running on reserve battery power somehow. That's interesting. I hope everyone can still see our slides.
Sorry about that, guys. We're having some technical difficulties.
The computer is very unhappy and refuses to play the slides because of the battery. Okay, much better. Great. So I was talking a little bit about this client that's afraid to enter the social media realm, and the truth of the matter is that, they already have a presence on social media. They have a fan that's created a page for them. The conversation is happening whether they're a part of it or not. And I think it's great to look at a really good example here in contrast, which is one of the most popular brand pages on Facebook. Coca-Cola was actually started by two fans out of LA. And Coke sort of had this decision to make. They could shut that effort down, or they could take over the page. But ultimately what they did is they invited them out to their headquarters to really, get a sense of the brand behind the scenes, toward the archives, that kind of thing. And they brought them into the fold and agreed to take joint ownership over the page. So what you see as Coca-Cola's brand presence today is partially generated by fans for the fans. And I think that is ultimately the pinnacle of what we're really talking about here. I mean, talk about brand ambassadors, that's just a great social sharing opportunity. Coke has truly actually seen success from this, and I think we can, note that by they reduced their ad spend in other media by 6.6% in 2010 to invest it more in social media platforms.
And I know that, we've all sort of been hearing more and more of these stories where brands are reevaluating where they're spending their resources and diverting funds to social media to have a greater presence there. And what a great opportunity as a marketer to get this more immediate feedback, to have the chance to respond, whether it be with a program or a message that is somehow linked to this feedback.
Yeah, unfortunately now that I have lost my mouse to advance. Well, we think listening is a great opportunity to supplement your market research and hear it in their natural voice. Our clients really are spending a lot of money on this market research. And here's this opportunity with social media where you can really hear what people are saying. Again, if you're igniting that conversation, getting out of the way, we suggest recording that information and using it as part of your organic search engine optimization. So this is actually an excerpt of an organic SEO plan that we created for a beauty brand, and you'd really be surprised at what you uncover when you start looking at what the brand wants to say about themselves versus what the customer's typing in when they're referring to that same product.
I think in general what you find here is that patterns will begin to emerge and messages will start to become consistent, and then you can act on them if you choose to.